Hello all and welcome to another Caffeine Entertainment video. It's Art here with my favorite reading podcast I like to listen to when I play games or I'm outside. These are very calming and relaxing and fun podcasts that allow me to also increase my TBR at times depending on the podcast. But let's dive right into it. The first two podcasts I'm going to speak on right now is two Book Riot podcasts. One is All the Books, or All About Books is what it's called. And it is their weekly roundup of that week's releases across all genres. And they talk about what they read and what they read on ARC and things like that. So that's a very important podcast. Plus on Fridays they do their backlist of what they're going to be reading for the weekend. So that is one of my favorite podcasts. There's revolving hosts on that. It's an enjoyable podcast. It's upbeat. It also lets me know what's coming out potentially in the next week or so of books that I might or might not need to keep my eye on. Second podcast from Book Riot is a bi-weekly podcast, and it's called Red or Dead. It's their mystery thriller podcast. It deals all with mystery thrillers. This is my favorite because it's of my favorite genre, and I like it a lot. One of my all-time favorite reading podcasts. Not my all-time favorite, because that's coming up here pretty soon. It's actually a repeat, I think, from the first one, but I'm going to mention it again because it is my favorite. So my third podcast that I'm going to mention that I really love listening to, and it produces podcasts very sporadically, and that is the Baker Street Babes. It's all scholarly Sherlock talk. I believe it's 3 or 4 women. I think it's 4. Most of the time it's 4, sometimes it's 3, depending on if one can't show up or not. But it is very good scholarly discussion of Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes canon, in all facets. The Robert Downey Jr. canon, the Laura King books, the Conan Doyle canon itself, BBC Sherlock, Jeremy Brett. Every facet of Sherlock Holmes is discussed on this podcast. One of my all-time favorite podcasts for Sherlock Holmes. The fourth podcast I want to speak on in the video is one of my very relaxing, stress-relieving podcasts, and I think it stems from my childhood because it's a connection to my childhood, and that is Lev Burton Reads. It is a connection to Reading Rainbow from my childhood, where LeVar Burton picks a story each week, curated by LeVar Burton himself, and he reads it in the episode, and you get read to by LeVar Burton. Very, very calming, and really he picks good stories that are fun, that are fantastical at times, sometimes heartwarming and groundbreaking, and all that. It just depends on the week, and it's good stuff. Very, very good stuff. My next podcast I'm going to talk about is one with a fellow YouTuber. It's Cortagus' podcast. It is Cozy in Chaos, I believe is what it's called. Let me pull up my iPad real quick, and I'll tell you. I believe it's Cozy in Chaos. Let me pull it up real quick, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it, son. Yep. It is... Come on, come on, come on. No. It is... Come on. Quit that junk. It is Cozy in the Chaos. With, let me see who it's with. Courtney and I believe it is Caitlin. Very, very good podcast. They'll post every post on Wednesdays. So it's a very, very good podcast. And my last and final favorite podcast, the repeat from last time, is Lynn Edgerly's The Kindle Chronicles. Comes out every Friday. Deals with everything Amazon Kindle, and since I have one, but he talks to a lot of authors, and he talks about what he's reading and his reading experience on the Kindle. It's just an amazing, amazing read. It's just, his voice is so calming and relaxing too, that helps. And his grandkids have been on the show quite a few times, and they're enjoyable. The whole thing is just enjoyable. It's a heartwarming podcast at times, and a very knowledgeable podcast at times. It's a very, very good podcast. I like to stay up to date with that podcast because it's, like I said, one of my favorite podcasts. So those are my 6 favorite reading podcasts that I like to listen to either when I game or just to relax. If you want to hear more podcasts that I like to listen to, either when I game or relax, let me know in the comments down below, because I could do like a wrestling podcast roundup or just a baseball podcast roundup, things of that nature. So if you want to hear more, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know too if you listen to any good reading or in fact gaming podcasts, because I'm always on the hunt for another podcast, because you can't always listen to audiobooks, but audiobooks are great too. So until next time, this is where I say, I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And until next time, happy listening. I'll see you again soon. And peace.